I've had many career dreams and explored many different things. And I was just thinking about it recently, and I decided that today I'm going to talk about a little retrospective of some of the work that I've done, or some of the careers or work that I've done, basically. I don't remember what the first thing that I wanted to do growing up was, but I know that I did not want to be a banker. I think at some point I said I wanted to be an aeronautical engineer, and I don't know like where I got that from. But yeah, anyway, so I want to talk about when I was a photographer for a while. So I don't know when I just decided that I wanted to be a photographer. I wanted to do photography, and I was really into it. So this was in my maybe my first or second year of uni, and my auntie got me a camera for my birthday, a Nikon D something camera. I don't remember the name anymore, and I was very excited by it. I was going to be the next Kelechi Amadi Obi or the next TY Bello or whatever. That was my dream. And I had this camera and I was taking it everywhere, taking pictures. In fact, I went to Ijebu Day for Ojideoba to take pictures as part of my thing that this is a new line I was going to go in. I got books about Photoshop. I had Photoshop. Like I was dead ass serious about this. And let me backtrack a bit to say how we even got here in the first place. So I've done so many things and I've been interested in so many things for a while. And I think my mom encouraged it because she used to make us, well, not make us, but instead of going for summer school, we used to go to like this place where we could learn any skill or handwork or handiwork, right? So my sister and my brother did baking, I did hairdressing, I did sewing, and something else that I don't remember anymore. So like I worked in a salon. I was making hair for people, and then I also did sewing where I learned how to make clothes with a sewing machine. I made a few dresses and skirts and things for myself, but never really carried on. I think I had a sewing machine for a while, but something happened to it. So all of this was happening while we were in high school. All my hairdressing, sewing, tailoring, blah 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 was all happening in high school. Also, when I was in primary school or like in between primary school and high school, I worked briefly in a cafe. You know those places where in Lagos where you go and print or you go and type, those kinds of things. That I worked there. There was one opposite the house where we lived, and the lady there, like, she was just, it wasn't like I was being paid or anything or like I was being child labor. I wanted to learn how to type. I was fascinated by the whole thing. So she would allow me type up stuff for her, and I would like use the machines and whatever. Anyway, so I did so many things, and when I came and said I wanted to be a photographer, everybody was like, "Okay, cool, no problem." As long as you were in school, I guess. I was in school. My mom was on board because apparently she also was really crazy about like pictures. I remember when we were younger, she used to buy us. We had cameras, and also there were so many random pictures of us doing the most random things when I was a child. And I found out later that she was the one taking those pictures. She got a cash gift from someone for something, and the first thing she did with it was to buy a camera. I just learned this recently, and that camera went to her for like 10 years, and she used to take random pictures of random things. But anyway, so yeah, the photography thing, everyone was fine with it, and I got the camera. I was going to this actually started before I got into Unilag. My friend Binjo, who I've talked about on this podcast, who got me into like working in tech, he was working in a photography studio. He was also a photographer then. And so my mom was doing something in the area where the studio was. So we would leave the house together. I would go with her, and then I would go from there to the photography studio. I worked in a legit photography studio, like where people come to do birthday picture and passport picture, like legit. I worked there, and I learned about taking pictures, photo composition, all of those things. And I was also like reading the Photoshop book and just learning as much as I could also on the internet about being a photographer. And this was, I was really really excited. And then something happened. I had another friend at that time. Let's call him Bolu. And when I got into Unilag is when I became friends with Bolu. Although I think I was already talking with him on Twitter, like was one of my Twitter friends. And we did a lot of work together. We organized stuff together. We were both writers, and we had a community of writer friends and everything. And so Bolu was also into photography. That's not his real name. Name has been changed. Bolu was also into photography, and taking pictures. He also had a camera, so we were like going around in La campus with our camera taking pictures or whatever. And one day Bolu reaches out to me to ask me to borrow him my camera. And I was like, sure, this is my friend, whatever. I didn't think anything of it. And then a couple of weeks after, when I was asking for my camera back, then he was like, oh, that something happened to it and he needs to fix it or something. And I was like, okay, cool. And then after some time, I was like, oh, it's taking a while. Something is wrong. It's not working out. I'm just like, okay, give me back the camera and I will go fix it. Like, you don't even have to pay for the fix. I would just give me back the camera. And you guys, I never saw my camera again after that. That was the last time I saw my camera. And that was the end of my photography dreams because somebody was going to buy me a new camera. And I was not a broke student, but I wasn't like earning enough to buy myself a whole new camera. And so that was the end of the dream basically. And that's how I did not become the next Kelechi Amadiobi and the next TY below. Yeah. Moral lesson: don't loan shady people your camera if you want to be a photographer. That's it for today. Thanks for listening. Bye. Oh, fun fact, I also did makeup professionally for about 2 years. Now I don't know how to do my own makeup. Bye. Thank you for listening to today's episode of A Couple of Things. If you found anything insightful, interesting, or you enjoyed this episode, please do share. And remember to like, if you can, wherever you listen to your podcasts, leave a comment, subscribe, so you get the future episodes. Thanks. Before you go, this is a reminder that you can ask me to talk about a specific topic or answer a question that you have by filling the form in the show notes to submit your suggestion or question. Bye.